So, 2 weeks ago, Transformers Rise of the Beast released what potentially is the final trailer before the movie comes out in theaters. And one of the big talking points that a lot of fans took out of that within the first, few seconds, if not minute, was the reveal that Unicron, this guy, is showing up in the film. Now, obviously, this toy is not the one that they released. The other one they released, the Hasbro Labs, is huge and basically takes up an entire shelf, if you will. This one is more based on Transformers Energon, and I got this at Walmart in Lawrence, Kansas. I've had it for quite some time. But anyway, the reason he's looked at as such a big deal, if you will, the reason he's looked at this, as such a big deal, why people are just going gaga at the fact that he's showing up, is because in the 1986 film, when he officially debuted there, he basically set the bar as to what brings all Transformers together. Whether it's Autobot, Decepticon, Maximal, Predacon, Terracon, you name it. He set the bar as, basically enemies, that, all the Transformers had in common to fight against. And I have no doubt the same is going to be said here with Rise of the Beast, because I got a feeling the Terracons are going to get stabbed in the back by this guy. Anyway, why, again, getting back to why people are so excited about this is because it's something that we've been wanting in live action since the first movie back in 2007. And even though they kind of gave us an idea of, oh, he and Earth are one and the same, and I think in, what was it, Age of Extinction or Last Night, despite that possibility, we never got anything out of it. Now, they still could run with that, because one of the theories that people like Rodimus Primal and Mr. Normal Person and others are bringing up is, they could, being the creative team, the director and the screenwriter and all that, they could divulge, or not divulge, but they can, take from any different art, continuity of, of Unicron to utilize in the live action film. For example, and I got a cough drop in my mouth, I do apologize. But for example, one of the ideas that they came up with, depending on, again, whether or not you believe this is something they could work off of, is Unicron has the power to travel through space and time. He can basically go from one time to another, or he could travel between universes, go from one alternate universe to the next, or one universe to the next, or one dimension to the next. And if that's something they do work with in this film, it could explain why maybe somehow he gets defeated and he has to retreat into the Earth and bond with it and become one with it. That's one explanation that they could use to kind of keep it in continuity, if this and Bumblebee before it are supposed to be preludes to the Bayverse version of Transformers. That could be, one way they get around that. Or if he's traveling through time, same thing. Same thing. But we'll have to see. But and I was just chewing the cough up there. But however you look at this to a lot of Transformer fans, young and old, long time since the beginning, just getting into it, been right in the middle. This is a game changer. It's a game changer because any time he's ever been presented in any Transformer media, whether it's the comics by Marvel, IDW, Dreamwave, you name it, or it's been in the various animated cartoons, whether it's been G1 with his movie and then the third season, or it's, been the animes like with Amaya and Energon in Cybertron, no matter, what version and incarnation he's ever been, shown in, he's always been treated like a massive deal. I mean, when you look at him right now, this toy, when I got it, in my collection, as far as personally in my collection, was the biggest Transformer I ever owned. The biggest. Bigger than my 20th anniversary Optimus Prime. But the point that I'm getting at is that no matter what version of Transformers he was seen in, he was always viewed as a big threat. A threat that brought everybody together. Like I said, whether or not it was Armada, whether or not it was, you know, Energon, Cybertron, Transformers Prime, Transformers Animated, Beast Wars, if you will. No matter the situation, no matter the story, and how they got to the point to the unicorn portion of the story. He excuse me. He was always looked at as a huge, huge deal, and for a lot of people to go crazy at the fact that he's now showing up in the live action films, having a voice and all now, the first one he's had since what, Transformers Prime or even the games or whatever. It is a huge deal to a lot of fans, because now you're looking at all the different various ways he was brought in and defeated in all the different Transformer adaptations that he was involved in as like the final definitive boss of a video game. You look at all the various medias he was brought into and defeated in, like I said, from the comics to the anime to Transformers Prime, animated, Beast, well, you name it. Now you wonder, how is the Autobots that we have there, the Maximals, and potentially the Terracons and even the humans, how are they going to beat this guy? How are they going to beat him this time around? And is that defeat going to tie into him merging with the Earth, and that's that helps connected to the Bayverse? How is it, how is he going to be handled, basically, and fought against in this version in Rise of the Beast compared to all the other versions. That is why a lot of people are excited, because now they can let their imagination run wild at the possibility of wondering, okay, how is he going to be beat here, compared to all the other times he was beat? It's like, how is that going to happen? And it's the intrigue it's the intrigue and the speculation that's going to get people wondering and talking and just wanting to buy a ticket the moment they go on sale to go see this film on opening day or opening night, which is the 15th, the Thursday before, I think, because I think it comes out the 16th, I believe. So, it's got, so that's why a lot of people are excited, because again, this is the big bad of all Transformers. This guy is the ultimate boss. He is the final boss, the definitive boss that, again, is the be all end all when it comes to, trying to keep the universe safe, whether you're Autobot, Decepticon, Predacon, Maximal, you name it. And again, every time he shows up, depending on his role in the story and everything, one of the big, again, intrigues and speculation is, how is he going to be defeated? How are the Autobots going to beat him? How is the combined effort of everybody involved going to beat him? And that, again, that is the one thing that's going to draw people in. Is they're going to want to know why he's showing up now, and what his role is, what his connection is with Scourge and the Terracons, and also how is he going to be defeated? But the other thing that's got people excited to see him is the potential, because I think we already got a hint of it in that trailer 2 weeks ago, is what is his robot mode going to look like? Is it going to look like what we got in the the animated film? Is it going to look like something like this from the anime? It's got people curious. It's got people curious to know exactly how he's going to be, seen as a robot if they go that far. Because there are some people that are speculating, hey, this might just be the beginning of 3 more films, and then the 3rd film we'll see him in robot mode. No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see him in robot mode in this film. I mean, why show his face, or at least part of his face, in the trailer if we weren't going to get him, in robot mode? Excuse me there. Why show part of his face in the trailer if we weren't going to get him in robot mode? You see, that is the question I have. If we're not going to get him in robot mode, then why didn't you just show him in planet mode? Be done with it. Why did you show part of his face? So to me, we are going to get him in robot mode, no doubt, in this film, because I don't think they're going to want to carry this on for another 2 films or 4 films just to get to that moment. I think they're going to want to stop here, and this is going to be basically maybe the last live action film we get for a while, because they're going to focus on a trilogy of animated films starting next year. This is going to be the last of the live action, and this to me will be the starting point, essentially, to get us to kind of, I guess if you have the movies physically, kind of organize them in chronological order. This is going to be the film that basically, sets the tone for us going into, into the 2007 film. That's what I think is going to happen. But, and again, depending on how, he's involved in the film and maybe how he's defeated, whether or not it ties into the Bayverse ones and he becomes part of the Earth to kind of salvage what's left of him, for another time. That's something we just have to, be curious about, as time goes on. That's just something we're gonna have to be curious about, as time goes on, and everything. But yeah, to me, the reason a lot of fans are excited about this is because, again, as I mentioned, he's a big deal. He is the big be-all, end-all, definitive final boss of Transformers that everybody has to come together and defeat, or at least come together and use whatever magical MacGuffin, Matrix, or whatever to beat him. So that's why a lot of people are excited. I mean, why do you think people, when they heard he was coming into Armada, Cybertron, Energon, into that trilogy of series that connected together, why do you think they were excited by it? Because they knew of his importance to the overall franchise and how he's, like I said, the one person that brings everybody together. The same with Transformers Prime. The same with, the comics and everything. He is that one threat that basically no one has any idea to really deal with until maybe they find out, okay, this is his weakness, or that's how we can beat him, or that's how we can, weaken him and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's one of those characters that basically at first, the heroes and even the villains are like, how do we deal with this? This guy's huge. He eats planets. What do we do? And now they got to come to, and basically, now they have to essentially trying to figure that out, have to come in together and find that solution. That's what they got to do. But yeah, but in closing, guys, from what I just told you, and I know it may have sounded like I was rambling, this is why Unicron was looked at as such a big deal, and why everybody in all the trailers you've seen, the mashup trailers and everything, why they were excited for him showing up, because of the fact that he is the be-all, end-all in Transformers. As far as villains go, as far as villains that bring everybody together, he is the be-all, end-all to Transformers. And basically, what makes it interesting for a lot of fans to see this is the speculation. The theory is a theory of what is his robot mode going to look like, and how is the Autobots, the humans, the Maximals, and even the Terracons eventually going to find a way to defeat him? How are they going to, be able to, beat this guy back, destroy him, whatever, to save the planet and the universe? And also, how does he show up? Is he time traveling? Is this a complete reboot? We don't know. Is it going to have a connection to the Bayverse? We don't know. But, that's what makes it intriguing, and that's why a lot of fans are happy, and, that this guy is showing up now, and, hope and wondering what his role is going to be. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on Unicron showing up in this movie. And until next time, I will talk to you later. God bless. Take care.